Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We're in my lounge again, in my lounge. Today I thought I would film a video for you on healthy C-section recovery tips. My top 10 tips for a healthy C-section. That's so cringe. So I've got my little notepad. So if you see me like looking down in this direction, that is what I'm doing. So let's get straight in. So I had a planned C-section with my daughter Daphne. She's my first baby. She's my first ever baby. And she was planned. She was breech from 21 weeks, and we had a failed ECV, which is where they basically like grab your bump and like try and like turn her manually. It was horrific. Thought she was crying. She's not. We're good. So we had a failed ECV and we had a C-section. So I thought I'd just come on. I think I've already said this. Thought I'd just come on and just tell you like my tips that I found were really helpful for having a cesarean. So number one, research. Like I cannot stress how much this helped me. I've never had like a surgery, I've never broken anything, I've never had to have like a stay in hospital. The only other time I've been to hospital is like visiting a friend or a relative or anything like that. Like I've never personally had to have anything done. Like I think the most I've had done is like an injection at the doctor's, like crazy. And I'm one of these people that if I don't know exactly what's going to happen, like when it's going to happen, I will freak out. Like it's crazy. So I've literally put down research because I think I watched every single like surgical video where they like cut and pull and scoop out every single. Okay, so that was the postman. Our dog Harvey goes crazy for the postman. So anyway, back to my top tips. So yeah, I think I watched every single video there was going about like what happened, like other YouTubers sort of experiences. I watched like the surgical videos. I watched, I didn't really watch any like tips videos, which I don't really like looking back. I don't really know why, because that's now what I'm doing. But yeah, I watched literally hours of like YouTube footage on like how a cesarean's done, like what happens afterwards, like literally everything. So I knew exactly what was going to happen. And I really think this made it easier for me again personally when it came to having the C-section. When the doctors were sort of using all their like technical terms and things like that, like I could sort of make out what they were saying because I'd watched so many videos on like how it's all been done. So that would be my number one tip. My second one is no question, is too silly. So I'm super ditzy, I'm super blonde, like I'm really quite thick. And no question is too silly. Like when you're going through, like if you think about it, like a cesarean is a major surgery. They cut 7 layers of skin, like skin, fat, muscles, like it's crazy. And I just want to say that no question is silly. Like I remember going into the doctor's office and being like, you know, do I need to like shave down there or just like what happens? Like obviously I had no idea like what, I've never had it before. Like I don't know what I have to do. Like do I need to like do anything? Do I need to like bring anything? And they were so nice, and the lady was like, don't be silly, like it's absolutely fine, like do what you normally do. And yeah, it was just, it really sort of put my mind at ease. I went in with like literally a book full of questions and all of them got answered. It was crazy. And it was just really reassuring to know that like they got it. Like they didn't think, oh my God, this girl is so thick. Do you know what I mean? So that is definitely one. My number 3 top tip is supplements. So my husband calls them voodoo. He doesn't believe in supplements or anything like that. He doesn't take anything. He's pretty rubbish with things like this. So I took, I'm just trying to think. I think I took 3 or 4 supplements in with me to hospital. My 2 best ones were Arnica 200C by Nelson's. Holy grail product. I was loving it. So again, you have major surgery. There's supposed to be loads of bruising, loads of swelling. I took the Arnica the second I came out of surgery and I was in like recovery, had my cup of tea and my toast, and I took an arnica tablet. I can't remember how many you can take, but I'll link everything I'm sort of talking about below if I can find it, and if not, I'll try and find like an alternative product. And I basically followed exactly what it said on the like back of the bottle to the maximum, because they're little like teensy weensy little pipettes. I followed it to the latter, like what I was supposed to be doing, and I'm not joking you, I had no swelling, like no swelling. It was crazy, zero swelling. And the only bruises I had, because I was in hospital for 4 days with Daphne, the only bruises I had were from the injections. I had injections into my stomach, which is like a normal thing if you have a cesarean in the UK anyway. I don't know about anywhere else in the world, but in the UK you have injections into your tummy, and they were the only bruises I had, and they were again tiddly tiny, like the size of the needle, like tiddly. I didn't have any bruising from like the little what's it called, not cannula, no, that goes catheter. No, it is a cannula. Catheter's the other one, isn't it? So the only, like, I didn't have any bruises from the cannula, cannula. God, I don't know. You know, the one that goes in the hand. Didn't have any bruises from that. I didn't have any bruises, like, around my stomach area. I literally had minimal bruising. So 100% I'd go out and get yourself some Arnica 200C, like I swear by that product. And if I ever have another babies, like I will 100% be taking that with me. The next one I took, obviously check before you actually take it with your midwife or anything, but mine was absolutely fine with it all. Another one I took with me was vitamin C. So obviously hospitals, that's just annoyed me, I don't know why I did that. Obviously hospitals are disgusting with like bugs and germs and like everything else. I took vitamin C because I didn't really want to spend like the first couple of days, weeks, you know, however long, with a cold or a sniffle or anything else like that. And again, I didn't get sick. I don't know if that's a fluke. I don't know if it was the vitamin C. I'm not too sure. And it was 3 supplements I took, sorry. No, 4. I did take 4. I also then, so I'd highly recommend a vitamin C. And I just used the one that were a bit like, is it Baraka? The ones that like fizz in the water. I also took stool softeners. It's not a very nice subject, is it really? Like me sat here in my lounge talking about poo, but we're going to get onto that in a minute. But stool softeners, let's just leave it at that for now. For now, I've warned you, it's going to get TMI, okay? It's going to get TMI. So then the other one I took was electrolytes. So I took electrolytes. I don't know if they did anything, but I took them. I think I took about 4 or 5 packets and I came home with some. So I didn't take them all the time, but I did end up taking them. The other one, my tip number 4 is sweets and Costa. So not the healthiest things, I'm not going to lie. But once you come out of surgery, that toast is the best thing you would have ever had in your life. Like that toast and your cup of tea are amazing. I took sweets in with me, and before I'd even gone into surgery, because we went, I'm going to do like a whole sort of sit down video when I've got a little bit longer, because Daphne is upstairs napping and I don't know how long I've got. But I went into hospital at 6:45 on the Friday, and my surgery wasn't until, like my birthing, wasn't until, we went down about 12 o'clock. So you have got like a good 6 hours. And obviously I couldn't eat anything or drink anything, I don't think either. I don't think I could drink or eat anything until my surgery. Yeah, I couldn't until my surgery had been over. So I had like all these lovely like sandwiches and like sweets and crisps, just loads of stuff that afterwards, like if I was feeling a bit crappy, I could just like scarf everything. And before we even went into the surgery, this was at like 7 in the morning, John had Costa, he had my sandwich, he had all my sweets, and I was livid. So I made him go out and get all new yummies and all new sweets. And I remember the second drink I had after I'd come out of surgery, like when I was in like the actual ward, was a Costa like cooler, the mango and passion fruit, and they were my like guilty pleasure when I was pregnant. I was obsessed with them, and that was like the first thing. And I think I had one every day when I was in hospital, which was delicious, but I mean, wasn't too good for the old belly. The next thing is PJs, slippers, and a pillow. So PJs, you want ones, if you're planning on breastfeeding, I took ones that sort of popped all the way undone. So if I did need to, you know, breastfeed or do anything like that, it was easy access. I didn't have to like faff around, like taking arms out and everything else. So I found that to be really helpful. Slippers, just comfy pajamas really in general, but slippers, I took some really like they were like sock slippers with like the little bobbles on the bottom. And they were only from Primark. I think they were like £3 and they were amazing. I've still actually got them. I don't know where. I think I've got one. Don't know where the other one is. And a pillow. So the reason I've said a pillow is because obviously it's nice to have a pillow, like your own home comforts to like nap on, and it's like a comfort thing, isn't it? I think that was what I thought it was going to be. But on the way home, I think we live in an area with the most amount of speed bumps. I'm not joking you, from like literally just down my road, I'm looking out the window, there is about 7 or 8 speed bumps. And when you've just had like surgery on your lower half, it is excruciating. So I was going along and I was literally shoving the pillow like underneath my like seatbelt and like my tummy area, and I was shoving that pillow in and I was holding on, and like it's like you're in the car with me now. I was like holding on, and I was like every time I'd go over a bump I'd like push the pillow into my tummy just to give it a bit of cushioning really. And I think I even took one to like sit on as well. Maybe I didn't, maybe I'm lying there, but definitely I'd highly recommend a pillow. And also if you're laughing, if you're sneezing, if you're coughing, that is not fun. Like when you've just had surgery, it's not fun to laugh. Like, oh, I can't remember what we were laughing at, but John had me in hysterics and I was literally crying at the end of it because I was in so much pain from laughing. I'm like, I was like creased over laughing. So that's another one. Number 7, we're getting through them. What are we at? 12 minutes, that's fine. Number 7 is rest, but do stuff. So the day after you come out of surgery, they do say to you to get up, be walking around, be doing stuff, just being active, because it's supposedly to help you heal quicker. So that is my number 7 top tip. My number 8 top tip for me was positive vibes. I'm one of those people that if I was to like sit in bed and be like, oh my God, I don't feel well, and just constant moan, I'd feel like crap. Whereas I didn't, I got up, I had like a positive attitude. I think everyone around me, like I'm so bad with pain, like I am horrific. And I think all of my family were really surprised like how well I sort of dealt with it. Because I wasn't going to sit in a bed for the whole 4 days. I wanted to get up, I wanted to get my own food, I wanted to get, walk around with Daphne and do everything else. But at the same time, you do have to have that like healthy medium of like doing stuff, not doing like too much. I think there is like a healthy balance. So that is rest, but keep going. Positive vibes, rest and keep going was the other one, wasn't it? Number 9, this is a sexy one. So Bridget Jones's knickers. I still wear Bridget Jones's knickers. I think they are amazing. They're like up to here. I mean, they're not quite up to that, but you know what I mean. They're like super high-waisted. They don't irritate my scar. They didn't irritate my C-section after I'd had it. They didn't like cut into anywhere. They were just massive, high-waisted knickers. Like that's all I'm really going to say on it. Like I've got maybe 2 packs for when I was in hospital and they're amazing. Number 10, don't be scared of your new like warrior scar. Like don't be scared of it. I was petrified when we got home and I had to take a shower and take the bandage off. I was petrified. Like I think I cried for about half an hour. I don't even know really what it was about it that like made me so scared. I was just petrified. I think I was more scared taking off the bandage than I was going into theatre. I was just so scared, and I literally was just like ugly crying, like horrifically ugly crying. And my husband was like, it's okay, we'll do it together. Like So cringe when I think back at it. But just don't be scared of it. Like, it is something new. Mine's completely faded. It has completely faded. I might insert a little clip. I might do. I might not. But yeah, don't be scared of it. And bonus tip, because I realised I didn't even write it down, drink plenty of water. So you know how we were saying on tip number 3 about poo? Drink loads of water and take your stool softeners. I couldn't leave our hospital until I'd had a shower, until I'd had like done every sort of bodily function that you'd need to do. It's TMI. I did tell you in number 3, I told you it's TMI. And when I was in hospital, I was really good at it, like drinking my water, taking the supplements. When I got home, I completely stopped, and that is when it all happened. Like, it is TMI. I've told you it's TMI, but my like second pill, I think it was, after I'd had Daphne, was like I was a bear. It looked like I'd been eating sticks and twigs and leaves. It was just horrific. So keep up your water. If you don't want to look like a bear who shit in the woods, keep up your water. Okay? So that's all I'm gonna leave it on that awkward note. I'm gonna leave you with that mental image. And I'm going to say goodbye. So that is my top 10 tips for a healthy C-section recovery. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.